What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to Voice of the Fans podcast. I'm tuning in from a blistering cold Alabama, Central Alabama. My goodness, Cleveland. It's been 22 and 32 the last couple of nights down here. I had to let my water run last night so the pipes don't freeze. What you guys dealing with up there?
It is 32 degrees as we speak, Cameron. It's freezing up here.
Well, it's 51 right now, but my goodness, these last couple of nights, man, it's been biting cold. Man, thank you guys for tuning in. Give yourselves a round of applause for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. We're going to get the show started just like this.
Am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name
Cameron.
is Cam Buford.
Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
I'm a Dolphin fan.
There's always room for improvement. I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting on.
I got some of this for you.
Goodness. For me?
Yeah, just for you.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter, the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works
for the promoter. Okay.
So you are lifting weights currently?
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish?
Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me?
What do you
Which one?
What do you think about these upcoming?
Aaron, like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show Voice of the Fan
Oh my goodness!
continues to
I'm in
evolve,
tears.
Come on, you were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right? Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
I'm not caught up to you guys yet. I do
Real surprised at that, Cam.
Hey, come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, this guy.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
If you haven't told your girlfriend about the show, tell her about the show. If you haven't told your boyfriend about the show, tell him about the show. If you haven't told your cousin, your uncle, your grandfather about the show, let everybody know about the Voice of the Fans podcast.
Hey, man, thanks for making our voice your choice. You know how we do.
What up? What up, Snoop? Snooping out. Hey, Snoop got a new album coming out. I don't know if you heard little sneak peeks of it, but Snoop got a little album coming out around the way. We'll be sure to let you guys know when that's out and what that album is doing. Since Cleveland followed that guy every step he makes. What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. It is December, Cleveland. It's December 4th, man. The year. You guys got 3 weeks to get your stuff done. Whatever you want to get accomplished this year, you got 3 weeks to get it done. Because this year is a wrap. It's over, Cleveland. And just like that, man, you snap your fingers. It's just like that, it's over. This is December 4th, 2024, week 319 episode of the Voice of the Fans podcast. Tonight, we're going to talk about the NFL. We'll do our weekly recap, do our previews, make our pick segments. We got NBA predictions. Cleveland, you excited about the in-season tournament? What's your thoughts on the in-season tournament now, how it goes? We're down to our semifinals that will be played next week. What's your thoughts real quick on the NBA in-season tournament that you drooling all over?
Yeah, I'm glad that it has gained in popularity and let the momentum continue for sure.
Well, I don't know how much it gains in popularity. I mean, you and Adam Silver like to think so, but you guys are trying some stuff. In fact, we're going to talk about the college football, their playoff rankings, man, and how they gave Miami got the holes. They got the big cucumber in the butt, man. We're going to talk about a little bit about that, get Cleveland's thoughts about that as well. Excuse me, we got some boxing news, Cleveland. We got some boxing news. The fight coming up this weekend. Tank Davis press conference yesterday. We got some boxing news to talk about as well. But like we we get started each and every week, fans. We're playing our numbers game. I don't know. You guys tell me if a podcast has a number game at the beginning of the show. Cleveland, with it being December 4th in week 319 of the Voice of the Fans podcast, Cleveland, when you think of the number 19, who come to your mind first, or who wore that jersey number the best?
You know, Cam, who probably comes to mind first is probably Johnny Unitas wearing that number. With regards to who wore it the best, probably Joe Montana.
Yeah, Joe Montana and KC wore 19 the best? Man, really?
He still wore the number as Joe Montana, correct?
I mean, he wasn't 16 Joe Montana. But okay,
but he was.
They won a playoff game. They won a playoff game. I mean, but what about the coach player Lenny Wilkins? Isn't Lenny Wilkins in the Hall of Fame as a coach and a player?
Both.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, Johnny Unitas didn't do that. Your guy Tony Gwynn. I thought you throw Tony Gwynn at me. He ain't do that. What about number 4?
Who comes to mind first and who wore it the best is Brett Favre.
Oh yeah, you don't know nothing about Harold Reynolds, son. That when the Mariners were halfway decent when Harold Reynolds was playing, right? He was playing second base.
Yeah, no playoff appearances as when he was playing second base, but that's cool.
I mean, well, the Mariners played. The Mariners been playing 45 years, and 40 of those years they haven't made the playoffs. So that ain't nothing new. You don't hold that against Tony Gwynn. I mean, don't hold that against Harold Reynolds. It ain't all him. The Mariners just think out loud. He tried to hold it. Harold Reynolds ain't played no playoff appearance. That ain't his fault. The Mariners stink. You know that. You know that. Come on now. Cleveland, it's getting down to crunch time in the NFL, Cleveland. Decisions are being made this past week. You want to go worst losses or most impressive wins? What do you want to give me first?
We can go with worst loss. That's fine.
Worst loss? Who you got? I mean, was there a worst loss in the your Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams? You want to talk about that fiasco?
That was horrible on Thanksgiving Day, and it cost someone their job as complete total mismanagement of the game over and over again. So yeah, that was a horrible loss.
So now Cleveland, here we go. A couple things. I know you're not into big coaching and all that, but when we was talking about the tennis player who kept looking up to the stands to get some advice from her coaches, who was that? I forget her name. Was it golf?
There are several players that do that, but yeah, Coco Gauff did do that at the U.S. Open quite often.
I mean, just here recently, just this season, right? She kept looking up at kind of saying her coaching wasn't giving her any advice and stuff. And what did you say, Cleveland? Or I think I asked you. Hasn't she been playing tennis long enough to kind of have an idea of what changes need to be made, what she might be able to be doing? Now, obviously, somebody looking from the stands, they see it from a different angle. They're not emotionally on the court sweating and stuff. They can just see it from a different angle, a different perspective looking on. So that advice is there might be some good advice that the coach was able to bring. I say that to say that you have a quarterback. I mean, running a 2-minute offense is really why you play quarterback. That's really, if you don't practice anything else, you practice kind of what do you do in crunch time, and then what are your receivers' favorite routes? That's all I would imagine. That's all I've ever seen quarterbacks practice. It's not, you don't practice throwing the deep route from the 60-yard pass. You don't practice all that. They call plays and you expect it to happen, but you more than often than not, teams are practicing the 2-minute drill. When we get inside the 20, situational football, when we get on the other side of the 50, what are we gonna do when the clock is running out? Coaches is standing there, 10, 9, 8, 7. They got to get to the line of scrimmage, hike the ball, and call a player, do what they need to do. How much of that was Caleb Williams letting 32 seconds run off the clock? or the head coach not calling a timeout? Who do you put more to the blame on in that situation?
Put more of the blame on the coach, Cam. I mean, he is the overseer of everything that's going on. I mean, how many times have you seen a coach, running down the sidelines to call a timeout because he realizes that the play isn't going to come off in time and the quarterback isn't aware of it, or, is not taking the time consideration it should be. But he's overseeing the whole thing. So, yeah, he understands what's going on, and he should have called a timeout there.
But at the same time, Cleveland, yeah, I agree with you. I do not disagree with you. The more the onus goes on the head coach. I certainly agree with you on that. But at the same time, the quarterback, I personally, when I played, I didn't like my coach calling timeout. We know what we need to do on the field. Yo, let's get in here and run this play. This is going to take 8 seconds to run a play, to throw it over the middle or get your wide receiver on the sidelines. That's going to take 8 seconds. Let's run this play. I don't need to. I personally did not need the coach to tell me that. And I didn't play quarterback. I was playing running back. So, let's get in the huddle. Let's run this damn play. I think the quarterback should know that. The quarterback should have that feel for the game. He didn't start playing. He's a rookie, yes. He didn't start playing football when he was drafted in April. He's been playing high school football, Pop Warner high school, and college football. Not to say his college years were that fantastic, but you ought to have a feel for the game.
Yeah, his college years were that fantastic. If you might recall, he did win the Heisman Trophy.
I mean, so okay, thank you. So we talking about a Heisman Trophy winner. I was thinking more so the guy who ran and jumped in the stands and was crying on his mom's shoulder after they lost.
Okay, so you completely forgot that he won the Heisman Trophy the year before that.
Even Cleveland, even more so. If you a Heisman Trophy winner, you should have a feel for the game and understand that with 30 seconds left and we need 20 yards to get a field goal, how to make that happen. Go down the ball. You completed the pass, go run, everybody run up, and we got to down the ball. That takes 8 seconds to get that done. They let not only the 8 seconds run off the clock, but they're standing around. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's going on. 30 seconds run off the clock. I don't need the
you don't have the helmet microphone going on.
I don't need the helmet microphone.
You don't know how to play.
I can do that like this. Get up on the line of scrimmage. We're down in the ball. I didn't need it. I don't need
all the circumstances and ramifications that went along with that play. But what you do know is ultimately the head coach should say, "Hey, we need to end this. We need to straighten this out."
And you're right. It all lands on the head coach.
I didn't say all the blame lands on the coach, but the majority and the ultimate responsibility for that falls on the coach.
But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But as a player on the field, time and
how many times have you seen everybody knows they need to get up and line up and so we can.
I'm not buying it, buddy. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, Cleveland, because.
And you're the one that's always saying coaching is just so important. Now you're trying to turn around and put it back on the player.
No, I just Cleveland. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying 80% of that onus goes on the head coach. I'm just saying, as the quarterback, a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, you should understand time and territory, time and possession, the time on left on the clock, where you are on the field, what you need to do to get a field goal. You should know that. The coach shouldn't have to explain that to you. Come over here, let's talk about this. The coach shouldn't do that. The coach should not have to do that. But yes, it would be it was just as the watching the time run off the clock, tick, 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 tick. Like, what are you guys doing? What, Keenan Allen, call a timeout. Somebody. If the coach ain't doing it, one of you guys do it. Like, get this ball hiked and snap and stop the clock is what they should have did. But we see it all the time. A team with 15 seconds on the clock, they hike the ball, they run a quick play, and then rushing up to the line of scrimmage to down the ball. That happens all the time, every week. These guys, that was a complete meltdown by the Chicago Bears, and I don't know. It's already been established that your guys isn't having a rookie of the year a rookie of the year type of season. But now they're gonna have to restart the clock again. Because next year they're gonna bring in a new head coach. So now he's learning a whole new offense. Now he's learning a whole new personnel. Now he's learning all new plays. Now he's learning a whole new script again. And kind of restarting that clock again. And shame on the Chicago Bears. Just shame on the Eberflus. Shame on the Chicago Bears front office for allowing that to happen. But that was just a blatant mistake. And it was just so it was the worst loss of the week. That has to be one of the worst losses of the weekend. And it was just my goodness. I just don't know how that happens. You gotta have a better feel for the game as a Heisman Trophy winner coming into the NFL. So the Chicago Bears blew their chance, and they actually had the Lions on the ropes. They had one of the top wherever you have whatever your power ranking is. The Lions have to be 1 or 2 on your power ranking. They had one of the best teams on the ropes.
Cameron, they have the best teams on the ropes every week.
Well, no.
Commanders ain't. They didn't have the Commanders on the ropes.
That's not the best team. The Commanders aren't in the Lions realm.
Ropes? Did they have them on the ropes too?
Who's that?
The Vikings. They have them on the ropes. I think that game went to overtime. That's kind of the definition of on the ropes, right?
I mean, just how do you it's baffling to me how you allow that to happen.
Yeah. You already done said, man. Yeah.
Okay, man. I gotta tell the people want to know how I feel.
It's weird. Okay. You blame Caleb for all this, but there's a head coach.
He gets a chunk of the blame.
And you're the guy that coach that makes all the difference in the world.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna have that coach.
Check that out.
We're gonna have that coach's conversation. You hold that. Keep that same energy.
Now you're making me mad. Now you're making me mad because now you're blaming the player, not the coach.
I'm sorry.
Because now you're blaming the player and not the coach, and the coach is the all-knowing.
I agree, Cleveland. You want me to say it again? I'll say it again. 80% of the blame goes on the head coach. However, as a player, you need to have a better feel for the game.
So basically, what you're saying is 30 seconds run off the clock. So the coach should have called a timeout. Okay, cool. Glad we agree.
The Dolphins stink. The Miami Dolphins absolutely stink out loud. I told you I told you at the beginning of the season that these bums weren't going to the playoffs. Did I not tell you that?
It's funny you went to your high school sweetheart with all these other bad losses, but okay. Let's go with the
well, I couldn't find. I got another bad loss.
Try to get him right quick.
I got another bad loss, but truthfully, I had to get these guys out the way. Real quick.
Man.
Cleveland, did I say at the beginning of the season when you and Mr. Fox NFL reporter Eric Williams was like, no, they're going to make the playoffs. They're gonna sneak into the playoffs. You agree with them too. Don't act like you didn't agree with them either.
Very well made, Cameron. It was a tough loss. It's cold outside. You know how the Dolphins do when it's cold outside.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? No,
playing Green Bay for crying out loud. It's cold.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know it was gonna be when you boarded the airplane. Did you know it was gonna be cold?
Yes.
Okay. So could you bundle up? Could you buy some extra socks? Could you buy some gloves, some hand warmers? Can you have the jacket? Can you have the headscarf? The little I don't even know what they call it nowadays. The little tight what is it? What's the rain? The Gore-Tex. Can you buy a Gore-Tex undershirt?
Yeah.
Can we stop acting like we're tough guys and go out there with no sleeves on? Can we stop that? Okay, you guys come from Miami. We know you're cold.
That's the problem. They don't act like they're tough guys. They know they're not tough guys. They know it's cold outside.
Man. I told you at the beginning of the season the Dolphins weren't going to make the playoffs. I told you after Tua got hurt, week 2, when Mike McDaniels tried to run the same offense that he run with Tua Tagovailoa with some backup quarterbacks, that this guy's questionable. This guy, now Mike McDaniels on a hot seat. Now, when he started that stuff and didn't adjust his offense, the coach, Cleveland, and I hate to keep bringing this up to you, but we're going to have this conversation throughout the night. It's going to be a theme of the night, coach versus players. And I know you saw that clip. You didn't respond to the clip. I text you. I know you saw the clip with Barkley and Shaq. I know you saw it. I know you saw it.
I didn't even open it up. There's no
Yeah,
need.
I know you saw it. I do, because I got the little alert, like to read messages when you send an email. I get the little alert that says you read the message or not. I get those.
I saw that you sent it. I did not actually.
Whatever. I got the read alert. Okay, so I know you saw it, but nonetheless, I told you when Mike McDaniel, the thing the coach does is puts players in position to be successful. Puts players in positions to maximize their talent. When Mike McDaniels lost his number one quarterback and expected Skylar Thompson to come and run Tua Tagovailoa's offense, that was a failed experiment. That's telling me he's not really coaching these guys. He's developed this offense, and let's hope for the best. And if something goes wrong, well, we're in trouble because I can't adjust. Because he can't make any adjustment. Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat. I don't care if you say I mentioned that weeks ago, Cleveland, and then I send you the article from the local beat writer who's with the Miami Dolphins every week, him asking the same question: should Mike McDaniel be fired? I think he watches the podcast. I think Perkins, what's up, Charles Perkins? I just say head nod, because I know you watch. Just put a like in the comments, Perkins, because I know you're watching the show. Because I said that weeks ago, Cleveland. I said that weeks ago. Mike McDaniels should be on the hot seat, and this junk that's going on down there now, your team can't travel outside of Florida. You can't play outside of Florida. If that's what's going on, you can't perform outside of Florida. Shame on you, because you're going to play 9 games outside of Florida every single season. The Miami Dolphins stink. Stink out loud. In fact, let me take this down right now. The Miami Dolphins stink. Stink out loud. I'm sick of watching this garbage that they throwing out there on the field. The Tua Tagovailoa, he's your guy. Tyreek Hill has 2 catches how does Tyreek Hill have 2 catches in the first half of the game? I told you I would have traded him. You laughed at me when I said I would have put him on the trade blocks at the beginning of the season. You laughed at me. Going into preseason, you laughed. Well, he was the number 1 rated player in all of football. What's going on now? What's going on now? What's going on this season? Although Brandon Ayuk, I would have made that trade. Although Brandon Ayuk is done for the season in San Francisco, I would have made that move. Let's see what Brandon Ayuk could do in the South Florida, or when you travel to Buffalo, or when you travel to New York, or when you travel to Green Bay. We need some ball players up there. We'll need guys starting generations and having basketball teams of their own. We need football players. So you want to say something about that? I'm sick of these Dolphins.
Nope.
Ravens lose to the Eagles.
Now
Ravens.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Ravens.
You and Tyler Dragon were just rubbing my face all in the dog doo-doo. Look, I didn't know what I was talking about.
I mean, come on.
What did I tell you? The
Eagles are bums.
Now, even more, no one is. I mean, they are paying attention, but they're not really understanding how serious this is. Man, Justin Tucker has the yips, man.
Ooh,
that whole offense.
Hey, you didn't predict. Come on, you didn't predict that. You didn't say Justin Tucker.
I did not.
You can't say, yeah. Come on now.
I did not. But that's also, wow, even a more serious problem than even I was seeing, because their offense is predicated on getting to the 40. No matter what, we're going to get some points. We might not get the 7 we want, but we're going to get some points, bro.
Yeah, he's 9 points. 9 points off the board. That changes the game.
He looks scared to come out there and kick. That dude used to kick like 60-yarders like it was going out of style.
Well, he says he's going to get it straight. He says he's going to get it straight.
Well, of course he is. He's making $4 million a year, and a whole city and franchises depending on it.
He's going to get it right. I trust. Tucker, we trust.
I've been watching Justin Tucker kick lately.
In Tucker, we trust. I mean, yeah, he's missed
Tucker we trust. That's the problem.
And he's missed. No, there's a different problem. They relying on Tucker too much. There's a different problem, and somebody can't complete easy passes.
If it was Justin Tucker and they were relying on the Justin Tucker from last year or his career numbers,
his career,
it wouldn't be a problem.
His career, he's 92% efficiency.
And this year
he's like
70%.
Yeah, like 70.
So like almost a quarter, like almost 25% less than his average.
So you're familiar? Who was the dude? I think it was the second baseman who couldn't throw it to first base. All of a sudden, 9 years into his career, all of a sudden he can't throw it to first base anymore.
Yeah, Steve Sachs.
I mean, is that what's going on? All of a sudden he just.
No, what's going on is the same thing that happened. I mean, I don't know if you watched the game, but 2 weeks ago when the Washington Commanders kicker came out, he had already missed 2 kicks, and those guys came all the way back. And all you need to do is hit the extra point to tie this game.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You're talking about this Santos? Is that Santos?
Siebert. Cairo Santos is in Chicago.
Yeah.
Ball too low. I'm talking about Siebert had already missed all those kicks, and now it's like, wow. Now all of a sudden, an extra point is weighing heavy on you.
I mean, come on now. He's nowhere in Tucker's class right now. I mean, if it was Siebert wouldn't be playing.
He's not in Tucker's class right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Have you watched Justin Tucker lately?
Again, Cleveland, he's having a bad season. He's having a shaky season.
Okay, well, kickers don't kicking 92% of their kicks don't have shaky seasons. That's why they're at 92%.
So are you ready to bench Justin Tucker?
Man,
do you bench Justin Tucker? We saw what benching has done to your guy Bryce Young. All of a sudden Bryce Young looks like a new man after 2 weeks on the bench. We see your guy after Richardson goes to the bench. How he comes back, so you're
putting quarterbacks in the same category as
kickers. No, I'm saying those guys that were shaky starts.
I said no, he's got to go.
Oh, so you're getting rid of them. You're sending him back in. You're cleaning out his locker room.
Justin Tucker is my favorite kicker of all time.
So you've already cleaned out his locker room.
I would have already cleaned out his locker. Yeah.
Oh boy.
He's going to cost you the playoffs.
Oh my goodness. I mean, doesn't he deserve to cost you the playoffs? Not maybe cost you the playoffs?
No, your kicker does not deserve to cost you the playoffs.
Oh my, Cleveland is cold. Oh, he said he's already cleaned out his locker room. You've already called the trainer. No,
Cameron, I'm surprised that more kickers have not been found in the middle of the street, balled up in a corner, bleeding and crying from people beating up.
Oh my goodness!
The kicker can't be the reason you lose game after game after game. Just can't be.
Oh my goodness! He's already cleaned out Justin Tucker's locker room. Cleveland is cold. All right, so this is a tough conversation. The Bills absolutely dismantled the 49ers. I don't know if you saw that game. Just absolutely dismantled. Josh Allen had another game that he proves he's the MVP of the league. Absolutely dismantled the 49ers. So the Bills have been rolling. The Bills, Josh Allen he just had another highlight for what did Tyler say? MVP's about highlights and moments. Josh Allen's had many moments this year where you can just add to the reel. He don't have the numbers that he's had before, but the team is just fully behind him and they're rolling. They're doing things. But the 49ers, is Shanahan on the hot seat?
No.
Is Brock Purdy? Are you looking in the draft to see who's you can get in the early second round or late second round? I know you weren't a Brock Purdy fan to begin with, but are you replacing Brock Purdy or are you bringing Brock Purdy back?
Bringing Brock Purdy back.
So you're talking this year up just to injuries. It's just a confluence of circumstance, and everybody on the team, all your stars on this team, can't get hurt next year at the same time next year. That's what you're
starting wide receiver, you're starting left tackle, you're starting running back, your starting defensive lineman has not been out there all season, and now your backup running back is it's attrition over there. I think that they feel like, okay, let's try and run this back. I mean, but just the one time, because the league evolves, so rapidly.
Right. So let me run this theory by you that the Niners, for the last 5 years, they've been this year it's just attrition. Everybody got hurt, but going into the year, you expected them to be the top of the division, right? The top of the NFC. As last year, they were 2 years ago to make the NFC championship. So what, they've been to 4 NFC championships in the last 5 years, 2 Super Bowls. But not being able to break that ceiling with this talent and with this run that they've been on. Have we seen the best of the Niners? Has that window closed on this Niners team?
No, I mean we may have seen the best version of the Niners, but that doesn't mean like the next version next year won't be good enough to get to the Super Bowl, because I think it quite potentially could be if they're all healthy and clicking on all cylinders. But as I've said before, football players age in dog years, so I'm just projecting.
What did you say? What did you say? Football players age in what?
Football players age in dog years.
Is it just football players, Cleveland, that age in dog years?
Yeah,
I want to have that topic with you too. I'm glad you said it, because I want to bring that topic up as well later a little.
Yeah, no, other sports, the fall off is gradual. In football,
the fall off is gradual. He says,
right? Yeah, I mean it's not always, but the majority of the time it's gradual.
Okay.
Football,
okay. Okay.
Some weird example of some other obscure thing, but we'll get to that. Let's continue on with your conversation, please.
No, the Niners. I'm with you. You can't get rid of them. Your team is not like you hit the reset button or the panic button. John Lynch shouldn't, because, I mean, like you said, your linebacker, your defensive tackle, or your defensive end, your starting running back, your all-pro running back, your second string running back, your receivers. I mean, everybody just can't get hurt at the same time, and you expect to have that same type of production. I'm with you there. However, when you been there, keep knocking on the door. The Atlanta Falcons team, who was not the Atlanta Falcons team, the Atlanta Braves team, who had Hall of Famers on that squad. They won 9 division champions in a decade and only won one World Series, right? But they were always there, and then just something happened. Just something happened to where they didn't win. Is that what we're kind of what we? I can't say that's what we're seeing now, because the Niners haven't won one, but they've been there. You follow me? They've been to that pinnacle, and that's a hard thing to do, right? Just keep getting there, and not win. Like, that's a hard thing to do. We saw from.
No, I mean, we watched the Eagles go to what was that, 4 straight NFC championships.
Yeah, with McMahon, not McMahon.
Donovan McNabb, only cracked the door once. Buffalo Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls, never won one.
They just got beat by better teams. They had the Giants. They had the Giants on the ropes, and then every team after that.
Again, so after the 4th loss, you would have run that back, right?
No, because they got throttled. Each loss got worse.
You wouldn't run that back. Oh, okay.
Each loss got worse, though. Listen, when they lost to the Giants, that was,
if you didn't run that back, that's weird.
No, Cleveland. When they lost to the Giants, that was a 1-point game.
So what is the adjustment you would have made if you get to the Super Bowl?
You can't make it. our team got old.
Fire the coach.
We just can't do it.
Gonna draft another quarterback instead of Jim Kelly. Gonna draft another running back instead of Thurman Thomas.
No. See, you're missing.
Gonna draft another receiver instead of Andre Reed. Gonna draft another linebacker instead of Cornelius Bennett. Gonna draft another D lineman instead of Bruce Smith.
You have to make a move somewhere because the team just got throttled. They got throttled by the Redskins, and they got throttled. They got beat by the Cowboys, and then they got thrashed by the Cowboys. Like those Cowboys games wasn't close. Like that was.
And the next year, the Cowboys weren't in the Super Bowl, right? So they wouldn't have even faced them.
They weren't on the Super Bowl. Why? Why weren't they in the Super Bowl? Because they lost to the Niners. They lost to the Niners that year, and then they went right. They fired their head coach.
The original argument that you were making was, would I run it back? I would run it back, and you're saying because they didn't win the Super Bowl, they shouldn't run it back.
No.
With injuries to like 7,
you got to make some adjustments. But the Bills, what happened in what 90 was that 95? Why didn't the Bills never went back again after they got thrashed by the Cowboys? And we know who the Cowboys were now. Looking back, we know. I mean, that was just one of the best teams ever.
But still, you won't give them a pass, which is weird. But okay.
Nah. Again, to my point, what I'm saying is, you keep knocking at that door and you can't get it done. Like you have to make some kind of other adjustment. Like, do I take Thurman Thomas out? No, I don't, because Thurman Thomas was like in his 4th, 5th, 6th year. No.
You realize I named you like 7 Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah.
I did that on purpose.
Cleveland.
Like who
they didn't get it done. You can be you can have all accolades. They're Hall of Famers because they went to 4 straight Super Bowls and nobody has done that.
All 7 Hall of Famers playing at the same time, not good enough.
Were they? Were they? Were they? You're missing what I'm saying.
Which one do you replace first? GM. I know you like to be the GM guy.
I mean, looking back at it, you had to get some defenders in there, but every loss was progressively worse.
Okay.
Every loss got progressively worse.
To reiterate my point, I am seeing the attrition from the 49ers, and I would run it back.
I wonder what you do. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you do. And I just asked a question. I'm just throwing it out there, just asking a question. And I'm just giving you examples of how we've seen teams keep bumping their head on that ceiling, but they just never could break through. And I kind of think that's what we're seeing now with the Niners. I like Brock Purdy enough to. I'm not going to pay him. I'm not going to pay him $40 million, but I like Brock Purdy enough to give him $20 million.
Because your preseason preview was a repeat of the Super Bowl, right?
We're going to look at that. I think I had the Eagles because I was trying to prepare for my conversation.
You want to stop the show right now? You want to stop the show right now?
Hold on. Do I want to stop the show right now?
You want to stop the show right now?
See, fans, I could do this. I could do this, and I
do that, man.
With all, I'm able to do this.
Do that. Do whatever you're able to do. Come back to what you were saying. I will patiently wait right here.
Thank you. You hold tight there, Buster.
Okay.
You hold tight there, Buster. I had the 49ers, Eagles, Packers was my final 4. 49ers, Eagles, Packers, Lions was my final 4. Apparently I didn't make it. And you can see right here. It's on. I didn't change this. I don't think I guess I didn't make a Super Bowl prediction. You have 49ers, Bears, Lions, Eagles. So you had 3 of the same teams. You had the Bears and instead of the Packers. But I didn't make a Super Bowl prediction. I just wanted to really check that out because I wanted to talk about the Eagles later on in the show. But I had that was my final 4 right there. Eric had the 49ers and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, which was laughable. I laughed at him then. But I had the 49ers clearly in the final 4 right there. You guys are fans, you guys can see that to see we actually have data to prove that backs up what we said. at the beginning of the season. But all I'm saying is, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying the Niners need to pack it up, or they can't get back here again. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just asking a question. What would you do? Are we seeing this again? Because we have a history of seeing teams get there and be this. They've been bumping their head on the ceiling for years and just haven't been able to break through. And I was just asking a question. That's really all I was asking a question. And like I truly wanted to know, do you give Shanahan a pass, or do you give Brock Purdy a pass for all the injuries they had? And I understand, man, they had a lot of attrition go down. So what do you think about Josh Allen, man, becoming only the fourth player to have a passing TD and a receiving TD in that game? Was that just they caught the Niners in the snow? West Coast team going to the East Coast? That's what we saw there.
Yeah. The receiving touchdown was kind of cool. Amari Cooper, seeing the situation, kind of, flipping it. That was cute. But yeah, it was snowing, and yeah, it was a team from San Francisco that typically does not play in the snow. Without its starting left tackle, its starting running back, and I'm not going to go through the list we just went through again.
Yeah, I mean, McCaffrey had a run, and dude tripped him up. McCaffrey would have had a 70-yard run. Dude tripped him up, and then on the next play, McCaffrey goes down with that PCL. But he was going for that 70-yard gainer until he got tripped up, and the fingertips is all it took, because he didn't come back after that. A West Coast team going to the Northeast. Geno Smith outplays your 3-time MVP, Mr. Discount Double Check. Four-time, Mr. Discount Double Check. You're a Hall of Famer in waiting, Aaron Rodgers, and he can't get no love. He can't get no love for your weekly article covering the Seattle Seahawks. And the fans want to know what your disrespect for Geno Smith is.
I do not disrespect Geno Smith. I've given Geno much respect this season. He showed a lot of poise and presence in the pocket at some critical, times in the game, in a few games this year. But overall, his extensive body of work has been a little better than average. And last week was no exception. I mean,
so outplaying the 4-time MVP. That means nothing.
Yeah, play the 4-time MVP. I mean, how many touchdowns did Aaron Rodgers have?
Did he have a touchdown?
He had 2.
He had 2. Well, one was kind of late, right? One was kind of late in the game.
Because they scored all 21 of their points in the first quarter.
Oh, so Geno brought him back, is what you're saying now. Now you're saying that Geno brought him back.
Actually, Big Cat Williams brought him back with the yard, pick 6. That's what really brought him back.
Man, the Geno, I got a letter the other day from label from the 206-98144 area code, zip code. Okay. It was from Geno Smith asking why you dog him out.
We'll reply back, hey, man, I don't dog you out. I give you your credit where credit is due. But I think in the last 4 games, this team has scored like 5 touchdowns. That's not particularly efficient.
He had a 94 QBR. What else you want him to do? 20 or 31 for 206, 94 QBR. I guess you wanted him to throw the ball and catch the ball too. Is that what you want him to do?
So was that outplaying Aaron Rodgers, or you didn't give me Aaron's numbers?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers walked away with an L. 21 of 39, 185, and a 73 QBR. Which would you take? The 73 QBR or the 94 QBR?
How many touchdowns did Aaron have?
Aaron had 2, but he had a 53% completion percentage to 64%. What would you rather take? 53 or 64?
Kudos to the Seahawks defense for, again, stepping up and playing stellar football. Kudos to Jackson Smith and Jigga for continuing to extend, ascend to being, a solid number 2, maybe a number 1 guy.
Maybe a number 1. Jeez. Yeah. Boy, I tell you, it's tough to get any credit out of from Cleveland still. Boy, I tell you. Does Mike McDonald give any credit? I mean, do you see what his plan coming together?
That dude does not play around, man. When he sees something, he just moves along. You either do it or you don't, man. I don't think people really realize the in-season adjustments he makes. He traded his number 1 tackler, who had not missed, I don't think he only missed 2 snaps, traded him for Jones IV. Remarkable move.
Traded who? Who did he trade? I missed that one.
Yeah, he traded Dotson. No, so sorry. He traded Baker, and then he cut Dotson, just straight cut him, and started the rookie. So he traded Baker.
So he saw something about the rookie
season to the big contract, traded him for Ernest Jones IV. Then he cut the team's leading tackler, who had only missed like 2 plays the entire season, started a rookie. And then when Chanel dropped the kick,
I saw that. He got waived. He said, "Thank you."
No.
Did he catch it? Was he on a plane home, or did he have to fly charter?
He had to fly charter.
Did Chanel
fly charter? Give me United.
Book your own flight home.
United Airlines voucher.
Oh man, I don't blame him for that. I mean, like, dude, come on, 2 of them, and so you hear you dogging Geno Smith where they gave up the ball a couple times, and so they put the ball in Aaron Rodgers. They gave him the ball inside the 30. Come on, man, cut it out. And he still only had 54% passing. But yeah, that's the message you got to send. That's the message you got to send. Yeah, we talked about the Eagles. Barkley had his 8th 100 plus yard rushing game. The Eagles corners stepping up. I thought they would be able to step up. He got some of the, they were drafted high in the draft, and that's what they lacked last year. They're stepping up and allowing our guy from Georgia, Davis, to manhandle any offensive line that he plays against. They're just moving that guy around, and he's just like a whale down there, just dominating anybody he goes up against. So they're playing pretty good. The Chiefs squeaked by the Raiders. Another close game for the champs. Does this help them in the playoffs, or does this hurt them long run? What do you think? What's your thoughts?
Hurts them long run.
You think they're just barely scraping by, huh?
The Broncos, the Carolina Panthers, and the Raiders.
That's 3 wins in a row, right? That's her last 3 wins.
By a blocked field goal, a missed field goal, and then time management.
A win is a win, isn't it? A win is a win. Well, they're 14 straight.
Cool, except for when you're trying to go 3-peating for a Super Bowl. Yeah, they look vulnerable.
14 straight wins in 1-score games. That's the longest streak in NFL history.
That's great. Fantastic.
Are you ready to see Penix? Are you ready to see Penix in Atlanta?
Not yet.
No, still not yet. Mm-mm. After Cousins just gifts the Chargers a W, 4 picks. I want to say bad Falcons are good Chargers. I mean, are you impressed with the Chargers? Dobbins goes down again with another injury. I mean, it's kind of late in the season. We thought he kind of might slip through the season unscathed, but he goes down again, just as we expected. Are you more impressed with the Chargers, or that was just terrible Falcons?
Like you said, the Falcons kind of gave the game away. The Chargers were there to receive it. So, but no, I don't.
No love for Harbaugh on the Falcons. No love for Harbaugh on the Chargers, huh?
I mean, good win. Saw what they did the week before. against the Ravens. So,
wow. Who deserves more credit in Minnesota, the coach or the quarterback? They're 10-2, so you're gonna have to pick one. You can't. We're to the point. 12 games into the season, like they're already atop their division. You have to give O'Connell some credit, or you have to give Sam Darnold some credit. You can't say wait and see. Darnold comes back. He brings the Vikings back late in the game. Who deserves more credit, the coach or the quarterback?
the coach.
What? What? My goodness. I didn't expect that one. I mean, do they make the playoffs?
Yes, the Vikings make the playoffs.
They're gonna be a tough out. I mean, Darnold is. I mean, you still gotta give some love to Darnold. The coach is, is calling a good game, but as you like to say, the players are out there doing it. So I mean, he's not falling on his face like Kirk Cousins. So, and then we see that matchup this week. Kirk Cousins travels to Minnesota this week, so there's gonna be some a little. I'll show you. We'll see. Is it the coach or the quarterback this week here between those two guys? Jaden Daniels, 25 of 30, 3 touchdowns, 114 QBR. It's Jaden Daniels back. In fact, he was 8 for 8 when throwing to Terry McLaurin. Is he back atop the rookie of the year list?
Yeah, I think he's probably right there at the top of the list for now. There's still 4 games left, so.
Oh well, you got Bo Nix closing the gap.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Listen to you chiming in on Bo. Oh, you're feeling Bo now, huh?
No, not really. But I mean, it's still a race. He hasn't pulled away to an extent that it's not a race anymore.
Okay.
I mean, the Commanders still need to do some things to make the playoffs. I think the Broncos are going to be there.
Oh, you're confident in the Broncos being there?
I think so.
I mean, I think they're kind of in the same boat, really. They need a few. They need some help to get in there, but 3 teams from the AFC West get in the playoffs. That's going to be interesting. I think they both still need a little help. Both teams, the Commanders and the Broncos, need a little assistance to get in there. Obviously, a couple of teams will lose. So the Texans, your Houston Texans, sneak by the Jaguars, the Trevor Lawrence-less Jaguars. Mac Jones come off the bench and put a scare into your boy C.J. Stroud in that game. The big thing about that game was causing all kind of controversy, Cleveland. I'm eager to hear your feedback. Alshier suspended 3 games for his hit on Trevor Lawrence. Is that 3 games? Is that fair or foul?
That's fair. He's got a little Rodney Harrison in him. He's got a little Vontaze Perfect in him. It's always a little bit, half second too late and always a little bit too high.
3 games, though? I don't think 3 games is fair. I don't think 3 games is fair. He got suspended for that's like 3.5 games because it was before the halftime. He got ejected from the game, and then 1 game suspension. Okay, I can see what you're saying. I can see the reasoning, but 3 games is absurd. 3 games suspension for that, it was absurd. Cleveland, I mean, I'm old enough, Cleveland. I know the first thing you're gonna say is the game has changed and blah blah blah. But I'm old enough to see, to know when they in NFL was selling tapes, who got jacked up. And that would have been a great "you got jacked up" highlight that he put on that he put on the quarterback. That would have been a great highlight. The quarterback, and I don't remember what game I was watching. I don't know. But I this week I got the first time in 12 all season long I got a chance to hear Tom Brady call a game. And Tom Brady wasn't bad, I have to admit. I wanted him to be terrible. I didn't want to applaud him at all. I didn't want to give Tom Brady any love. But Tom Brady was not bad. I mean, he was certainly better than Romo, probably better than Collinsworth. I was not disappointed with Tom Brady calling the game. And furthermore, Tom Brady came out and actually said that the quarterback, they need to make some rules because that was a late slide by Trevor Lawrence. And the quarterback needs to be fined or they need to penalize the quarterback when they take these late slides because the defense is coming and aiming at you one way, then all of a sudden you slide. Like, that's a difficult thing for the defense to do. So I was like, I applaud Tom Brady once again for his commentary. I have to give Tom Brady a round of applause for his commentary. I was very impressed to hear, or I was very pleased to hear that coming from Tom Brady. And you know, every time the defensive got close enough to breathe on him, he's looking at the ref for a penalty. For him to say that, I don't want to say out of category or out of character. Tom Brady made a fan out of me with those comments. And I mean, the game, I don't know if you've heard him all through the season. I haven't heard him, so I've never commented on him. Usually I'm at the bar kind of watching multiple games at once. This week I was at home and he came on. I was like, look at Tom Brady up there making $40 million a year, sounding like a decent commentator. I was quite impressed. Have you heard him call a game? Were you impressed, or that's a non-issue to you?
So a couple of things. Yes, he has gotten progressively better as the season has worn on. When the season first started, he was not great, kind of, I don't want to say unbearable, but certainly not something that you just tuned in to really listen to. But no, he's gotten much better as the season has worn on. He's kind of found his way, like you were saying. Secondly, the word that you were grasping for was hypocritical, because when he was a quarterback, it's cool to say all that stuff when you're not out there doing it. Yeah. Oh, you should. Yeah, you should. Yeah, you guys should get fined for sliding. Yeah, you guys are being, disingenuous, like you're gonna slide, then not slide. You should. Yeah. You're not doing it, and now that it doesn't involve you, you feel completely, totally different about it. But
that's seeing the game from a different angle. He's seeing the game from a different angle. I applaud Tom Brady.
That's great. But lastly, you can't take the slide out of the game because that's what the slide is for. And secondly, very few people hit quarterbacks like that anymore. I mean, when's the last time you saw somebody run into a quarterback's head with their forearm?
I mean, that's so. Listen, you know I'm gonna take a different approach. So listen, that was a quarterback sprint out, right? That was a quarterback. That wasn't a quarterback scramble. He didn't drop back and have receivers out there.
Question I asked you was, when was the last time you saw somebody go to a quarterback's head with their forearm when they were sliding?
Probably the last time Tom Brady got cracked was somebody from Buffalo Bills. I should have pulled that clip up when dude from the Buffalo Bills laid Tom Brady out when he tried to run and slide, and he just couldn't get down. Tom Brady just couldn't get down, and dude lit him up.
So like a decade ago. Okay.
No, that was more than a decade ago. That was before Tom Brady was Tom Brady. That had to be what, 2000, 2000,
so like 25 years ago.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But that was a called quarterback run. That was a called quarterback run. It wasn't a scramble. Like if he dropped back and try to find a receiver and they're all covered and he took off running, okay, he slides. I'm good with that. But when a quarterback just rolls out and then slides on you, that quarterback should be fair game because that was a quarterback run. Had that been
that's cool, Cameron. But if a running back did that, you couldn't hit a running back with your forearm to their head either.
The running back is not going to slide like that. The running back is not sliding.
What if they did? But what if they did?
No, but I mean that's a safety play for the quarterback specifically. The running back, the receiver can't slide, can catch it. They can go down. You know, they can go down without hitting like your boy Lockett does. He catches the ball and then he goes right down. Right before the defender comes and hits him, he goes down so he didn't avoid the hit.
But if
he can't take.
If the defender came up and hit him with his forearm in his head, it would be a penalty.
Right. True.
And if he was a repeat offender of doing this all the time, just a half second late, yeah, you're not learning the lesson like everyone else.
I don't know how many fines I would receive because that's how you play the game, man. You play the game and send a message. You play a game and send a message, and
the message right back to you. It'll cost you $1 million for doing that. Address your fiscal, forecast for 2025.
And yeah, it cost him. I don't know if it cost him. I don't know how much he's making, but he got suspended 3 games.
Let's assume he's making him, $5 million a year. That's 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, but he's gonna appeal, so it'll probably get.
He already appealed. He already appealed and failed.
Did it already come through with the fail?
Yeah.
Because the GM and the coach went off on it and didn't say anything about it being a bad kick. They went on and on and tried. Well,
the NFL can expedite the process if they see fit. Like, oh, okay, yeah.
Did it? On all seriousness, did it already get adjudicated? Did I already say, they didn't even look at it, threw it right out?
No, they did. They went through the process. It was just fast.
No, it was just fast. I don't know. I agree with Tom Brady that on a design run play like that, like if that was Lamar Jackson, he's not sliding like that to begin with. But on a design run, like the defender, so we just had to let him run up until somebody gets close to him and he can just slide whenever he wants to. That's take the skirts off, man. Let's play football out here. On a design run, he's full game. Again, if it was a scramble, if he dropped back to pass and then took off running because he didn't find nobody open, I think that's different. That's a different type of play. But if you look at the play, that was clearly a design rollout. There was no receivers in route, and dude was going to level him. And then you go down the slide. I mean, you got to take what's coming to you. You take what's coming to you. Good hit. Alshire. He didn't lead with his helmet. He just gave him a forearm, and his head just happened to hit the turf. I mean, what do you want him to do? What do you want the man to do? What do you want him to do? Yeah, no answer. Because
it's a regular tackle. I mean, clearly you can't do that. I mean,
you're not supposed to touch him after he slides, and that's why I'm with Tom Brady. Like, there's some players or some quarterbacks that fake slide and they keep running. Get to the sideline. We saw
that wasn't a fake slide. He was really sliding, and that dude came a half a second late with his forearm, Rodney Harrison style.
Well, he was on time with his forearm. He was
he was a half second late.
It's just you're not supposed to touch the quarterback after he slides. That's the rule.
He was a half second late, and he went to his head with his forearm.
Good hit. Rookie of the year, we touch on it. You say Bo Nix hasn't caught him yet. Is Brock Bowers or John Alt in the conversation, or is it just
Brock Bowers in the conversation?
Huh?
Brock Bowers is in the conversation.
Okay. So Daniels, Nix, Bowers is the order right now.
I would say so.
Okay, that's fair. That's about where I have it. That's about Cleveland. Best play of the weekend. What you got? What was the best play you saw this weekend?
Leonard Williams, 92-yard pick six.
A record-setting 92-yard pick six. That wasn't better than this play here, Cleveland. That wasn't better when your guy squaring up against Derrick Henry, the rookie, by all means. I don't know. Did you see this play? Squaring up against Derrick Henry?
That's not better than a 300-pound man deflecting the ball, catching the ball, intercepting it, and then running back past the whole entire New York Jets team for 92 yards.
Yeah, it is.
That's not better than that.
It doesn't get better than this. Actually, it doesn't. I'm breaking the rules again, fans. Forgive me. It doesn't get better than this. Can you see what I'm seeing or no?
No. And it don't make no difference because it ain't no better.
It doesn't get better than this, bro. I assure you. I'm gonna show you this here, and you fans have to agree with me. It don't get better than this. The best play of the weekend. We've been showing the best play of the weekend since the Saquon hop. That is now on the Madden video game. Like, I want to get a Madden video game just now, see if I can do the Saquon hurdle. Because I heard they put it in the game now. But I haven't seen it. But here you go, Cleveland. Can you see this? Can you see this here?
No.
Okay, hold on. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. There we go. Now I know you got it now. I know you got it now. Let me make it a little clearer for you, just so we can remove.
I got a still shot. Looks like he's about to tackle Derrick Henry, but it's not rolling or anything.
Yeah, hold tight, buddy. Settle down.
It certainly is. It's not a better tackle or not a better play than I just aforementioned. So
it's Henry who's usually.
When you hit somebody, you're supposed to square up, throw your shoulder into them. It's called hit and lift. You put your shoulder into them and then you lift up and drive them into the ground. That's exactly.
Watch this. It's Henry who's usually
wraps up and drives them into the ground. There's nothing better than that, Cleveland. Period. In the story. In the story. The only thing better might be a Terrell Buckley interception return.
Putting the punishment on everybody.
But that's Derrick Henry. You know who Derrick Henry is. You know the.
Watch this. It's Henry who's usually putting the punishment on everybody. And
right there.
It's a rookie coming up and
that's a rookie coming up and making this play usually on the Derrick Henry.
Putting the punishment on everybody.
And there's nothing better than that.
It's a
like,
rookie
the only thing better than that is Terrell Buckley.
Watch this.
Tackle.
It's Henry
What Leonard Williams did was nice.
Putting the punishment on everybody.
He deflected the ball, caught it. He deflected the ball, then he caught it, and then he returned it. Yes, beautiful, nice. But nobody he eluded one lineman who couldn't tackle him, and then he had blockers escorting him down the sideline. This was the rookie going up against Derrick Henry, and again, textbook tackling. That's exactly what that was. 100% applause to the rookie there for making that play. That was the best play I've seen all weekend, Devon. And you want to say Williams play was better? I don't know. Williams is having a heck of a season because this is the second week in a row he's dominated the game. I'll give you that. But I don't know if it was better than that play, Cleveland. The rookie coming up and squaring up on Derrick Henry. I mean, that was much better. That's like, this will be remembered as even if DeJean doesn't go and have a Hall of Fame career or play 10 years in the league, this will be remembered similar to when Steve Atwater went and knocked Christian Okoye back. Until then, you remember that play, right? Until then, Christian Okoye nobody saw Christian Okoye going backwards. No one. And Atwater came and put that shoulder pad in his chin. And Christian, the Nigerian Nightmare, was never the same. I'm not saying Derrick Henry is not going to be the same. Don't get me wrong now. This tackle, though, textbook tackle, square up, hit, lift, and drive them into the ground. That was perfect. perfect, exquisite. You don't see that happen too often, let alone to Derrick Henry. Come on now. And it did help that it was obviously a pass out to the flat where Lamar Jackson was late on the pass to the flat and allowed him to kind of set Derrick Henry up. But that's beside the point. That's beside the point. You don't see any of that, huh?
No, you're just getting more and more ridiculous as the conversation goes on. First of all, you're overlooking the fact that 300-pound man outran an entire Jets offense. And secondly, you tried to bring blasphemy into the conversation by saying Steve Atwater with a hit. It was not a wrap-up. It was not the textbook tackle. It was just a hit that knocked Christian Okoye back. So, and it was to the helmet. So why are you even trying to bring that into it? Like, this tackle is just so cool. It was a good tackle, and you should have left it at that. But you brought a whole bunch of other stuff into it. But we can move on. I'm fine with it. Brought Steve Atwater. I mean, that's the hit that got him to the Hall of Fame. You bring that hit up and compare the two. Blasphemy. But you go ahead and do what you're saying.
Use the SB.
Because it was catching the ball, turning around all slow. And come on, man. It's ridiculous.
I just said the quarterback, Lamar Jackson, set him up.
Steve Atwater. Why are you trying to compare it to Leonard Williams, 300 pounds, running 19 miles an hour down the field? Dude was turning kind of slow, and dude was there. I mean, good tackle. Good open field tackle. Best play you've seen all week? Hardly.
Yeah, literally.
Steve Atwater worthy? Hardly, man. Come on.
Leonard Williams caught an interception from a 40-year-old quarterback. I mean, come on now.
And ran 92 yards. Are you trying to tell me there's nobody on the Jets team that could catch a 300-pound man?
He had an escort. He had an escort. He had 3 guys blocking for him all the way down from.
So nobody on the Jets offense can run fast enough to catch a 300-pound man running down the field for 92 yards.
No.
How often do you see someone get caught from behind that runs like a 4-4 or 5 all the
time? You're putting a lot on that one. What's up, SB? Henry got wrapped up, man. You guys all of a sudden Henry been rolling over cats for 3 years now, and he gets wrapped up.
Great play, Shawn.
And it was a meaningful score. Oh, now here you go. Now here you guys go. You guys blowing that up, man. That was a pick. He had 3 guys running down the field with him, so it wasn't like somebody Garrett Wilson was going to chase him down and tackle him. He had 3 blockers down the field that kind of walked him into the end zone. Come on, cut it out, guys.
Walked a 300-pound man into the end zone for 92 yards.
You guys, you're talking about overhyping. Come on now. Let me see. Let me see if I can do this before we get to our pick segment. Whoa, fans, I'm killing the pick segment. Yeah, I'm killing this pick segment.
I don't think you are.
Yeah, he don't want to see this. He's not in a hurry to see this one.
Let's get back to it. What did something weird happen?
He's not in a hurry to see this one. But let me see if I can. Dude was throwing the ball all over the place. That old quarterback, discount double check. All of a sudden, you don't got nothing to say about discount double check, huh? Let me see. All of a sudden, nothing to say about discount double check. You see, I'm sorry for the delay, fans, but I just want to see if I can do this for Cleveland and shut you guys up, because this show you, and I should do a comparison, but I'm not gonna do the comparison, but I'm just gonna see if I can pull this up right now and show you guys. It was a meaningful score, yes, because they were down, but can you see what I'm saying? Not yet.
No.
So the old quarterback is already scared. Look at it, he's already scared and just flings it out there. That was the best move he made. Didn't let the little receiver tackle him. And look, he got 3 guys chasing him. He got 3 guys chasing 3 linemen. Get out of here. 3 linemen were chasing him. There was nobody in position to make a play. 3 linemen. The little receiver can't make the tackle, didn't wrap up. 1 lineman, the other lineman, and there's 3 Seahawks running right down the line with him, escorting them into the end zone. Come on, man. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. You liked that, didn't you? Now, what play was better, Cleveland? Admit it. Be truthful. What play was better? The tackle or the interception return?
The interception return. It's never been done before in the history of the NFL, ever.
Had a big fat guy return the ball that long?
Nope, never. Yeah. Want to know why? Because they usually get caught.
But
92 yards is usually a little bit too far for them to just run and not run out of gas, and no one on the other offense be able to come and catch it. It's never happened before.
Dijon, good tackle, bro. I got you. I got you, bro. Okay, here we go. Here's our picks. Here's our picks from last week. I'm gonna show you guys this here. He's not gonna see this either.
The 3 for 3 against the spread, or
with the 3 for 3, you know, my picks against the spread is terrible. So we both had what games did we disagree on? Miami. I had Miami for some reason. You had Pittsburgh over Cincinnati. That was a shootout, man. That was a shootout game. So Russell, have you sent Russell at least? Did you send him a Thanksgiving card? You said, do you got a Christmas card on the way to say, hey Russ, we still thinking about you?
No, we ain't text thread. We talk all the time.
Oh no, listen to you. We talk all the time. The Colts. I mean, were you surprised by the Colts going for 2 when they scored a touchdown to bring him within 1? They go for 2 and let Anthony Richardson run it in. Like, again, we talked about it earlier, but that benching seemed to help him a little bit.
Yeah, we both had New England. So what were you talking about here?
No, I'm just saying. Did you the Colts? Were you surprised that they went for 2 instead of went for 2 in the win instead of kicking the field goal for the tie?
No, that seems to be the trend these days. If it was me, I would kick it. I just don't want to, because if you miss it, then the game's over. So
well, yeah, if he doesn't get the 2-point conversion, but Richardson is a beast. Like, I don't know if he can improve his passing skills and get up to 60%. I mean, 50% ain't gonna do it for a quarterback. If he can get to 60%, he might be a threat. I had Minnesota over Arizona. You thought Arizona was gonna come back? Arizona on a little slide right now. What you saying?
Yeah, they lost that game by 1 point. So
I mean, that's an L, right? And they lost to Seattle. How many did they lose to Seattle by?
No, it's they lost by 10. But yeah, I mean, you were like way above everybody, but they lost by a point. Good game.
We had the rest of them right. I had the Dolphins in Houston. Houston embarrassing. Snuck by the Jaguars. That shouldn't have been a close game, but it is what it is. And so that's Cleveland. Picks against the spread kind of gave you a little bump there. But I've been terrible at picks against the spread. Like, I'm barely 50% there. Although the rest of my picks I'm still 72% on the year, Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. 3 of the last 4 weeks, man, I'm perfect in the my confidence. We're gonna have to change this. We're just both killing the confidence. 75%, I'm 78%. I got an idea. I'm gonna run by you. We're gonna change this next season. It's gonna have some fictitious money involved, but we're just gonna put some money on the line in our top games and see how much money we raise. But that's we're just killing this category. Picks against confidence picks, we're killing that one. Coming up this weekend, what games do we disagree on? I got Detroit. Why do you think Green Bay can win? You think you like what you saw against the Dolphins?
Yeah, I just think that the Lions living a little fat, a little high on the hog, and this is going to be a divisional game. I think that they kind of,
they're in Detroit though. They're not in Green Bay.
I don't know if they really fully embrace the wake up call that the Chicago Bears gave them, and Packers are right there to kind of remind them that this is you got to play them all out.
Interesting. I got Detroit winning that game. What other games? New Orleans versus Giants. I mean, that's really should be a pick 'em. I just go with the veteran quarterback in this situation. Even though they're playing in New York, I'll go with Derek Carr over who? Who's the quarterback for the Giants?
I believe Drew Lock's going to start that one.
Oof.
Unless DeVito is healthy again.
Oof. I'm going with the veteran quarterback. That's about the best thing I can say there. What other game we agree on most of the other games? Interestingly enough,
those are the only two that we have a discrepancy with.
The Browns. I'm kind of interested in the Browns. I think the Browns. I took New Orleans. I got New Orleans winning that game, so I took New Orleans to the points. I got the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to beat the Cardinals. I think the Seahawks is going to go down there and beat the Cardinals. I got the Seahawks. That should be Seahawks -3, not Seahawks +3. And then the Jets. I got the Jets. I think they're going to keep it close. I can see the Miami losing the game, to be 100%. I can see the Dolphins losing that game, losing the nail biter. I can't. I really can't. But Dolphins stink. No other way. I can't go into it any further. But I could see them losing that game. My confidence picks for this week, I got Minnesota, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia. Cincinnati, yeah, they're playing the Cowboys. That's kind of questionable, but I'll take them. Pittsburgh, the Browns will keep it close. Jameis is full. Jameis, you saw him on Monday night. He looked good for a minute. I was kind of rooting for Jameis, and then he threw the pick in the last drive of the game. I was kind of rooting for him though. What's your thoughts on Jameis? Can Jameis be a starter next season? If you had a opportunity, would you start Jameis? Like if you were the Giants, would you call Jameis in to start for you?
No, he's a last case scenario. Worst case scenario, yeah. You can.
So you got him as a backup. He's a backup for life.
Yeah.
Until somebody get hurt. So if Deshaun Watson is healthy next season, you got Deshaun and Jameis. Who you starting game one?
Deshaun Watson.
Well, just totally on name recognition because he ain't been better than Jameis.
He will throw four touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and you'll lose the game.
I mean, at least you could get the 4 touchdowns and run the ball the rest of the game. I mean,
you'll get the three touchdowns. I'm sorry, the 3 interceptions. Excuse me.
It's sad to see Chubb out there, man, making one play a game, and it's kind of sad to see it. He just, I don't know if it's the explosiveness that he's. I can't say he's lacking explosiveness because when he has the one play, he's explosive, but he's just not an every down. I don't want to say not even an every down back. Just recovering from the injury. Hopefully, he'd be better to have a better season next year when he has an off season to kind of be healthy and just kind of work his way into playing shape. I don't know what it is, but it's sad to see him out there right now. Especially he ain't doing my fantasy team no justice right there either. So best games of the weekend I have are the Packers, the Lions, Seahawks, and the Cardinals, and the Chargers and the Chiefs. I saw you have the KC, so you talking about all the junk about KC gonna lose, but you got them beating the Chargers. What's your thoughts there?
Oh yeah, I mean, conventional wisdom says they should, but I'm not 100% convinced they will.
Oh, you're not convinced?
I'm expert with the conventional wisdom.
All right, fans. So last week, Cleveland turned his back on me and didn't want to talk fantasy football. Let's see if he talks fantasy football this week. Let's see if there's a different attitude in the room. Let's see if there's a different tone in the room when I bring up the fantasy football rankings. Do you want to talk fantasy football, Cleveland?
I wouldn't mind, but Kobe is going crazy. Can I go holler at him right quick? I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
We're here waiting on you.
It's crazy. And please pull that up because I'm in first place. I'll leave that little point with you. Go.
Fans, how you guys doing on your fantasy football squads? I know we're down to the final weeks. What you guys' fantasy teams looking like? I'm about to show you now that Cleveland and I are competing in the Voice of the Fans Fantasy Football League. We are competing for the number one spots. Or not the number one seed, not the number one spot, the number one seed in the league. And I just edged them out. So I'm going to share this. You guys are going to get a good look at. Can you guys see this here? There you guys go. What's your fantasy squads looking like? Hit us up in the chat. Let us know @ Voice of the Fans on Twitter how your fantasy team's looking. Right now, you can see if I highlighted. Now, hopefully, you guys, I can see what I can see. Hopefully, you guys can see it. Hopefully, that's a little bit better. Our fantasy football league, we got one more week in the regular season, and there's my record there. What's going on? There you can see our rankings. We're both 9-4. He got me by the 10 points percentage. That has to give him that has to be the only reason that he's up in the number one ranking, because he got me by 10 points on a scoring.
So sorry, you were speaking about the champ. My apologies. My dog is tripping lately. I don't know if it's just the age or separation anxiety, but
yeah, they know this is garbage right now while you're ahead of me in the rankings when we have the same record. And didn't I beat you earlier in the year? Didn't I beat you earlier in the season?
I don't think that matters. I think that the fact that I have more points than you is what's most significant.
Well, it's coming down to
you lost last week. Did you show the fans your loss?
Oh my goodness, fans! Oh, you guys.
Did you show the matchup?
I didn't show it to them, fans. Oh my goodness, fans! I did lose last week. Let me show you the outcome.
You lost an inferior opponent, as I recall. Did you tell that to the fans as well?
I lost by less than a point. Here's the matchup last week. They were less than a point, fans. I lost the lead by less than a point. Oh, I'm sick about that. By less than a freaking point. Man, if I'd have played Nick, I had Nick Chubb on the bench because he ain't been doing nothing. Aaron Jones, but if I played Nick Chubb, and there's my 2 points there, I win the game. Aaron Jones has been disappointing as well. But if I played Chubb, who I just kind of lost faith in, because he got one touchdown, a passing touchdown. His running he's been bad. 9 runs, 21 yards. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
It looks
2
like
catches, 24 yards.
You have some cat named Westbrook on your team that you didn't play that scored almost 20 points.
Well, no, I just had to pick him up. He's got eight touchdowns in the last 10 weeks. Yeah, I had to go. I had to go to the bench.
So he was on your team last week?
No, I picked him up. I picked him up last week.
Oh, okay.
I picked him up on Sunday. I had to go pick him up on Sunday. Yeah, so he wasn't available for me to start.
Okay. So you lost then. Okay, cool.
I lost by one freaking point, fans.
Because you're not showing the matchup, you're only showing your team. You didn't show what the other team did, but that's fine.
Well, there it is, right there. Week 13, I lost to the Americas team by one point.
Yeah. You're not showing the lineup of that other team, and that's fine. You don't have to.
I lost by 1 point.
It's all about you. It's all about you. We understand.
I lost to 1 point.
We understand. It's all about you and what you didn't do as adverse what someone else did. That's fine.
But now the league, you guys see what the league is. I mean, I'm down. Who you got this week, Cleveland? Let's see who you got.
I got Tom. I got Tremendous Machine this week.
Oh, you got a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
You got a tough one. Ooh, look at that matchup. Go get him, Tom. Go get him, Tom.
And you got Uncle Red.
We better step up and finish strong.
I believe he's in the basement with the Wild Irish Rose bottle.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough race. So as if the playoffs started today,
I would be in first place as the number 1 seed.
Well, we both get a bye. That's all that matters. We both get a bye, and then we have to see. But I don't want the bye. Truthfully, I don't want the bye. I want to play the season out because I got a squad. But yeah, we got 2 weeks to go. And Cleveland, you don't get too comfortable. Okay, you don't get too comfortable over there because my team. You see where we are, right?
In second place, yes.
Breathing down your neck. And in fact, if I didn't lose by one stinking point, fans, if I didn't lose last week, I'd have the number 1 spot. Okay, so you see where we are. I mean, what is this? 6 teams make the playoff, and their one game separates number 8 and the number 5 seed. Like, so all this is still in flux. All of this is in flux. Tom, you can drop once you lose next week, you can drop to 4th place. Woo, you're not gonna like that. Go get him, Tom. I'm with you, Tom. Let me call Tom to see if I can make a trade or if I have to make a GM move. Maybe give
that would be so much like you to do that.
What'd you say?
So, and that would be so much like you to do that.
I mean,
yeah.
I just want to have a competitive balance across the board.
Yeah, it would be very much like you to do something like that.
Yeah. So that's our fantasy football team fans right there. We're nip and tuck throughout the season, and we'll see how things play out here, starting 2 weeks when we enter the playoff. We have a big focus on that because there's money on the line right here. There's money on the line. How you doing in your other fantasy football teams, Cleveland?
One of the leagues we're not going to talk about. The other league, I'm in 4th place.
You don't want to talk about it. That must mean what? You're out of the playoff hunt.
Out of the playoff hunt in the other league. Yeah, in the auction. Yeah,
in the auction league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the leagues, man. To be honest with you, I was 0-7 at one point. I won the last 3 weeks, but I was 0-7. I just felt like, what? Wow. And then in another league, I'm number 1. So, but this league is the most important because it has bragging rights. Speaking of bragging rights, James Harden joined Steph Curry as the only player in the NBA to reach 3,000 3-pointers made. What's your thoughts on that?
What a fantastic accomplishment!
Oh boy! He also with the 40. He had a 40-point game the other night, leading the Clippers to having an 8-2 record over the last 10 games. He joins. Let me see. I'm gonna do a little trivia for you. That he joined a crowd of 40-point. Let me see how to phrase this. James Harden with his 40-point game becomes the fourth player to score 100 40-point games. Who are the other three?
To have 140-point games?
Correct.
Wilt Chamberlain has 140-point games.
Yes.
Michael Jordan has 140-point games.
Yes.
And Kobe Bryant has 140-point games.
And you want to take shots at the Clippers. You want to take shots at the Clippers. You want to take shots at James Harden. You take shots at Ty Lue. The Clippers lead the West right now. Not only don't Magic have a better 10-game record than them at 9-1, the Mavericks. They lead the West in defense, Cleveland. Only giving up 106 points a game. There's only one team better than them in the league. Who is that?
Oh, I'm not sure, Cameron. Do they also lead the West in free throws made?
Why you getting free throws?
Do they also lead the league in backwards dunks?
There you go.
What other obscure category are they leading the Western Conference in?
I'm not sure defense is an obscure category.
Losses, right?
I'm not sure defense is an obscure category though. That's where your little jab fails.
Do they lead the league by steals by players 6'7" or shorter?
See, you got jokes, Cleveland. They're number 2 in defense in the whole NBA. Who's the other two, who plays better defense than those guys?
Oh man, the Celtics play that lockdown defense. Who else plays that lockdown? No. Shoot, the OKC Thunder play that lockdown defense, don't they?
They do, but it's not them.
I'm sorry. Thibodeau and the New York Knicks play that lockdown defense.
They do too, but it's not them either. The Orlando Magic lead the NBA. You act like that's not a thing, but that's how the Clippers have an 8-2 record over the last 10 games by playing.
And that's great. I mean, just lock down to everybody. Switch. Play. Play your zone. That's great.
The Rockets get a gritty win versus the Thunder. The Rockets are 12-3 over in their last 15 games. Credit to Ime Udoka or Dylan Brooks. Are you gonna give Dylan Brooks some love?
No.
I mean, who's the factor there? You got Dylan Brooks playing defense.
Man, Shepard, Segun.
Shepard ain't playing. Shepard can't get off the bench.
Segun's playing. Van Vliet.
Van Vliet did hit him up for 30 the other
Ari, they got some players over there.
But they got their defense stalwarts go from Dylan to Eason.
Garfield's finest.
Yeah, so that's what's getting it done over there in Houston. The Jazz. Did you see the Jazz lose to the Lakers after was it Garland that went to the hole? No, who's the point guard that drove to the hole, made the lay-in, but the coach called the timeout. He made the game-winning lay-in, but the coach called a timeout, so called it off. The Lakers ended up winning that game.
I did not see that, but it is not surprising that the Lakers won that game.
Well, so let's talk about you talked about what do you say the players in the NFL? How do they age?
In dog years.
The NBA players, how do they age? In cat years or what?
Gracefully.
Gracefully.
Over time.
So LeBron is the second player to make 15,000 field goals. Who was the other player?
To make 15,000 field goals?
Yeah, LeBron's the second player to make 15,000 field goals. There was obviously another player who has more.
I would say Kareem.
Absolutely. Shouldn't have thought about it. He played his 1800th game on Monday. LeBron did. I think that's the most. Here Here's some numbers, man. Are you watching the Lakers game, or are you just catching the score and not really following now? It's too early in the season. What's the deal? How you following?
Early in the season, I'm kind of seeing the ebbs and flows. I'm seeing like when they do great and when they, inexcusably lose to teams they shouldn't lose to. So kind of a little bit of both.
So here's some numbers for you. The Lakers have been outscored by 111 points with your guy LeBron on the floor. LeBron now is shooting 48.2%. This is the lowest field goal percentage since 2007. Ali went to the finals that year. He has the worst PER since 2003, his rookie year. Cleveland, he has the worst plus minus on the team. LeBron does. His worst turnover percentage was 17%. Should he be focused on trying to play 82 games this season? All 82 games this season?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He should. You don't think he needs a rest?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, perhaps less minutes, but I mean, if they didn't need him, then they wouldn't play him that much. It's time for the other players to step up a tad bit more. Who is the true legit number 3 option? We thought it was grandson and Jarrell. Not so much this season so far. Excuse me. Almost I'll call him by his name. The former point guard that started last year went to the bench.
The former point guard, Snitchy. They use the Snitchy. Is that what you know about?
I believe that is word on the street is that his nickname is Snitchy. Yeah. So he's not stepping up. You can't expect to put all that weight on a cat like Connect 4.
You bench Hachimura.
Hachimura is very. I mean, he's the definition of hot and cold. You never know.
You bench him. He can't get a rhythm. He can't get a shot when LeBron's in the game.
Okay, look. We done been through all types of algorithms and iterations of Rui Hachimura.
Oh wow. Oh, you ready to pack him up?
He's there sometimes, and a lot of times he's not. So,
are you ready to clean out his locker too?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to moving on from him if he doesn't step his game up.
Goodness, this guy has no shame. You just cut anybody.
Well, not just anybody, but Rui Hachimura is certainly on the chopping block. Yeah, I wouldn't be a problem.
So what are you gonna do? You guys always clamoring for making moves. Is Gabe Vincent? I mean, have you feed him his chicken noodle soup yet? What's the deal with Gabe?
Oh man, Gabe is disappointment personified times 5, man.
Well, it's the way you guys treat him.
That's not why we went and got Gabe Vincent to just be overwhelmed by Los Angeles, man.
Did you put his arm around him? The AD did get AD to talk to him? AD to take him to a stylist? Maybe drive him around town and have a hot sandwich with him or something?
Can't pull him away from the Kardashian estate. Taking pictures and stuff. Starstruck out there.
Said he's starstruck. So he can't stay focused, huh?
Stay focused.
Oh, that's cool. Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers, they beat up on the Celtics. Is it too early to say that they're winners, or are you any confidence in them maintaining their top slot in the Eastern Conference?
No
confidence in them. Still, the Bucks have won 9 of 10 games. Do you believe they're a threat in the East?
They have Giannis Antetokounmpo, so they're always a threat.
Oh, so you believe in Doc now? Doc and Giannis?
No, you heard me say Giannis, right? And then you throw Doc in there for some reason. I said they have Giannis Antetokounmpo. I didn't say they have Doc Rivers coaching the team. You misunderstood me. They have Giannis Antetokounmpo on their team.
So no confidence in Doc and Dame in the trio. Doc, Dame, and
no.
Giannis?
I have some confidence in Dame. He's starting to
no confidence in Doc.
But yeah.
Wemby records another triple-double. I think this is over the weekend. 34, 14, and 11. Became the 4th Spur to do so. Name the other three.
The other three Spurs with a triple-double.
Correct.
Alvin Robertson has a triple-double.
That's the one I didn't think you'd get.
David Robinson has a triple-double.
Yes.
Kind of feel like Tim Duncan probably has a triple-double in there somewhere.
No.
Okay, so we pulled Tim back. Huh. Another triple-double.
This is a younger player who did not play with Tim.
Younger player that did not play with Tim. Triple-double.
You got two of the three. DeJounte Murray is the third.
Oh, DeJounte. Okay. I was leaning towards either Sean Elliott or Terry Cummings, but okay.
Didn't Elliott play with him? Elliott played with him. But as you was going through it, I was thinking Manu or Tony Parker might have had one, but neither one of those.
I was thinking the rebounds was a little tougher, Tony.
David Robinson had 4. DeJounte Murray had 3, and then Albert Robinson. I didn't think you get Albert Robinson. So Brandon Ingram signs with Clutch Sports Group. You think he's going to become a Laker here pretty soon?
I mean, does he want to come back home? It's up to him.
I mean, you guys shipped him away.
Yeah, for Anthony Davis. Count that as a win.
I mean, I don't know where you guys been.
Well, no, a championship with it, Cameron. So, yeah. And he has a gold medal. So, he's averaging, 30 and 12? Yeah.
I mean, shoot, but do you want Ingram? I don't. These guys ain't getting. These guys can't seem to get it straight in New Orleans. I think Willie Green's gonna be gone here before too long.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I mean, clearly Zion and CJ. I mean, CJ is clearly Zion and CJ that it's just not working out down there.
Yeah, they played 4 games together.
Well, your boy can't stay healthy.
No, your boy can't stay healthy.
I mean, he can't stay healthy. That's a problem.
Yeah, your boy can't stay healthy.
Yeah, that's a wasted talent. SB, what you think about Zion? What's your thoughts on Zion, SB? Clearly he can't stay healthy. What's the solution? Should they send him to Miami? You think Pat Riley can get him in shape?
He's in shape, yet you have to realize what his body is doing to itself, man. It's not sustainable.
275 flying and dunking like that. I mean, Barkley played. What did he play? 10 years? 10, 12 years?
He was shorter, much more of a freak of nature.
Barkley was 300 pounds when he came in. The round amount of rebound.
He had dropped it during the Olympic trial, so he wasn't quite 300. And
well, he dropped it after his first.
And he was 6'4.5"
with the Sixers.
He was 6'4.5", and he did not have the explosive athleticism that Zion Williamson has.
Ooh.
I think I said that 2 years ago, SB.
He's damn as good.
Thanks for clarifying.
Who's the biggest threat to OKC in the Western Conference?
The Denver Nuggets.
Oh, and Denver and Russell Westbrook?
No, it all depends on the most important player in the NBA, which is who again, Cameron? Let the fans know.
It's not Nikola Jokic. So
I said the most important player, not the best player.
Last week you tried to talk to me and say only stars make a difference.
Okay, fans, he doesn't want to answer the question. It's Jamal Murray. So if Jamal Murray is healthy, yeah, OKC has a problem.
Well, I don't know what you seen out of Jamal Murray to make you think he's going to be ready in the come playoff time.
Well, I've seen him win an NBA championship. What have you seen from OKC that makes you think that they're going to win the championship? They've had a great regular season.
Jalen Williams, the other Williams brother.
He's had a great
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet when he comes back.
When he comes back,
Hartenstein.
You're already naming things that haven't happened yet. Okay.
No, Hartenstein is there already.
Hartenstein. Okay.
They're gonna win. They're gonna win the West. I don't know. I mean, one day, maybe in March, you'll catch on and say, "Oh yeah."
Well, they will win the West if Jamal Murray's not healthy.
No, a healthy Jamal Murray, the Nuggets don't win the Western Conference.
Ooh.
What you got something on that? If Jamal Murray plays,
we already have something on it, Cameron. I don't need to put anything on it. You already have OKC winning the championship with a pound on it.
So there you go.
I don't need to parlay that.
Yeah, you want to put something else on it,
No, you already extended yourself. So
Katie's out a week on a sprained ankle. How do the Suns? How do they survive with him?
They don't. I mean, they try. They do as best they can. Sometimes, I mean, Booker and Beal might be out there at the same time, but that's good point, SB. Lean back, Luka is coming. But no, if Bradley, Beal, and Devin Booker can be on the court sometime at the same time, maybe they can tread water. But yeah, they need Kevin Durant to do anything significant.
So it's the same what we've been seeing from the Suns for the last few years. The trio is not healthy enough to sustain. They just don't stay healthy enough to have a good season. As far as the Mavericks go, how's that trade working out with the signing of Captain Clay? How's that working out for you, SB? I think he had 4 points and 0 points and 4 points. You still just have two guys. I mean, they didn't have to.
Well, I mean, Clay's just doing his best Robert Horry impersonation. I mean, he's just kind of getting his legs underneath him to the playoff start.
Hopefully, they can do. He better get on his bike. Maybe they can. I would say take him to the lake and let him at least cruise around the lake on his boat or something.
Yeah,
there is no lake in Dallas
whatsoever in Dallas. Yeah.
So I don't think there's any revival coming for Clay anytime soon.
And that's also part of the problem. Cam, you're starting to look around like.
Right. There used to be stuff hanging up in the rafters up there. Ain't no stuff
hanging up in the rafters, stuff to do, places to go. I mean, it's just
no. Don't take. Let's not sleep on Dallas now. There's stuff to do. There's places to go in Dallas. It just ain't.
But just not like Clay's been used to.
It ain't San Francisco. It ain't the Bay. It ain't like the West Coast. Yeah. But don't sleep on Dallas. Dallas is cool. Dallas is there's some props to being in Dallas for sure. So we got the in-season tournament set up for next week. The semifinals are coming up on Tuesday. The Thunder, number 1 seed, play the Dallas Mavericks. So to your point, SB, there's a good matchup coming up there. Thunder play the Dallas Mavericks. Who you got to move on to Vegas in that game, Cleveland?
Oh, I'm gonna go with the Mavericks, Cam.
You're going with the Mavericks.
With the Mavericks.
You just want to. You just want to hate on OKC. OKC. The next matchup is another team that I warned you about. The Rockets are playing the Warriors. And Rockets are the second seed, playing the Warriors, the third seed. Who you got? I'm going with Houston. I'm going to Houston in this one.
Rockets in that one.
You going with the Rockets too?
Making it all Texas final there for that second cup.
Well, I don't know about that. It sounds good.
At least on the western side, to represent, I should say. Excuse me.
And then we have the Bucks play the the Magic. The Bucks are number 1 seed. Play the Magic. The number 4 seed in the East. Who you got? I'm going with the Magic. I don't. This could be. This could be like last year. Like last year, what you call it? Got in there and played really well.
Pacers.
The Pacers played really well, propelled them to, Eastern Conference Finals. I think this is that's a benefit. I think of this in-season tournament. These young teams get to play in prime time, i.e. the Rockets get to really step up. Now it's prime time. It's early in the season, but let's see what you guys can do. And they're playing against a worthy opponent in the Warriors, but it gives them a time to step up, kind of put everything together, throw their chips on the table, say we're here. I think this does them some service. Unlike a few years ago, the Sacramento Kings didn't have this opportunity to show that they were in rhythm, to show that they were there until the playoffs came, and then they didn't know how to handle that pressure in the playoffs, right? When they lost to the Warriors in the first round, after I think they were second or third in the Western Conference for the season. I think this is a good chance. This is the best thing to come out of the in-season tournament. Who do you got? The Bucks or the Magic in this one?
The Bucks.
You got Doc Rivers leading this team to a win, huh?
Giannis Antetokounmpo, yeah, MVP, top 75 player, NBA champion, NBA Finals MVP.
The number 2 Knicks play the number 3 Hawks in that round of the other Eastern Conference bracket. Who do you got? Who do you got playing this game?
Right now I like the Knicks, man. I like I like about the Knicks right now.
You like Cat, huh?
I like the fact that Cat is experiencing the good side of New York.
He said the good side of New York.
Yeah.
When they're on your side.
When they're on your side, when they love you, when they got their arms around you, and there's 20 million people, chanting Cat. You know what I'm saying?
No Paulo, no way, huh? Hey, they've been balling, bro. They're number 1 defense in the league. I think my memory served me correctly. They're 9-1.
Cameron, may I get you to take a quick step back here for a second?
What's that?
This is the second time you didn't mention great defense in the NBA, and as everyone knows, great defense is not what's going to win a championship or even an in-season tournament. Okay, so every time you start talking about number 1 defenses, nobody really cares. Okay, it's a cool stat to kind of hang your hat on, but part of that great defense is coming up against the Utah Jazz and the Washington Wizards and the Brooklyn Nets and the Toronto Raptors. That's a lot of where your great defense comes from, but that's not really how championships get won.
How are championships won, Cleveland? Just to be curious. Just for shits and giggles.
By individual great players doing individually great things at opportune times.
All right. So the Magic are 8-2. They're the hottest team in the Eastern Conference. Well,
that's great. Who they played lately?
Huh?
Who they played lately?
I mean, you want me to give them a rundown of the last 10 games? I mean, that's what you want me to do. They beat the Philadelphia 76ers. They beat the New York Knicks. They beat the Brooklyn. I was gonna say the Dodgers, but they beat the Brooklyn Nets. Let's look at the other games. They beat Brooklyn again, Chicago, Charlotte, Detroit, the Lakers. They beat the Lakers. They lost to the Clippers. They beat the Suns. They beat the Sixers. They beat the Pacers. They beat Charlotte. They beat Washington. They beat New Orleans, and they lost to the Pacers way back a month ago.
So you get where I was going with that, right? Just from the list that you read.
What, they beat Philadelphia, Phoenix, they beat the Lakers.
Philadelphia's not a winning team. Philadelphia's not even a playoff team right now, so that doesn't count. They beat the Wizards, they beat the Pelicans, they beat Nets twice.
You gotta beat the teams in front of you, don't you?
No,
you gotta beat the teams in front of you
against really bad teams.
Huh?
They've got a really good record against really bad teams. They did win the game against the Lakers on some last second stuff.
Now, so is that a W or not? I'm not sure.
Yes, they beat the Knicks.
I'm not sure. Did that go down to the W when his last
win? I mean, that's cool and all. I like what they're doing. I would like him a lot better once Paulo gets back and healthy. Then we can really assess what this team is capable of doing. Right now, I think they're just kind of, beating some teams that aren't very good.
So when do we assess that your Lakers stink? When do we do that?
Oh, they don't.
They lost to Orlando. They lost since playing Orlando. They lost to Denver, Phoenix. They beat San Antonio. They lost to OKC.
You see the difference right there? They lost to OKC, who you just been
they
slobbering
beat
over.
Utah.
Slobbering over OKC for 5 minutes, and now you want to act like that loss is like egregious. I don't understand.
They lost to Minnesota and they got blown out, but they got smacked around by Pat Riley in the Heat.
Now that one,
134 to 93.
The Heat loss is a little questionable. I'm not gonna lie about that. The other ones are all, hey man, chalk that up to the game.
Chalk it up to the game. Early in the season, right? It's early in the season.
Time Christmas.
I mean, but 12 and 10, are you happy with 12 and 10? Magic. What do you mean they got destroyed when it mattered? I mean, have these games really mattered yet? I mean, it's still early in the season. We'll see what
now the in-season tournament, which you poo-pooed about the whole time. Now all of a sudden it matters. Now it gives teams some confidence, some character.
It does. You know, I wasn't a fan of this garbage to begin with. Now I'm trying to look at the positives of it.
Now you're starting to see the benefits that work. Okay, interesting.
Oh, it was a tournament game. We'll see. We'll see if they match up. Who you got? The Bucks or the Mavericks? Or excuse me, the Bucks or the Magic? SB, Bucks or Magic?
Yeah, you already know where he's going with that. He's coming straight up with the Bucks, man. But
no, I don't think so. Well, he says no Paulo, no way. So he already said Paulo, without Paulo they can't do anything. So you're not a fan of the Wagner brothers, huh? The Wagner brothers can't get it.
They are great regular season players.
The Wagner brothers and Suggs and little
like you like Cameron, they dive on the court and stuff, and
little Anthony. I mean, they're getting valuable playing time though.
They set valuable screens and stuff.
Right now, they're getting valuable
rebounds.
They're getting valuable playing time right now.
They sure are.
And now with when Paulo comes back, they'll be ready. I mean, hopefully Paulo is not out much longer, but we'll see. I think shake out. Oh, you got Doc and Giannis too, huh? Doc and Giannis, okay. I'm not gonna let you guys forget Doc is in the house now. Fans, so I got one more thing to show you guys. This is interesting. So again, fans, thank you guys for tuning into the Voice of the Fans podcast. Give yourself a round of applause for being here. Give my man Cleveland a round of applause for braving the cold, sticking with us through this cold winter, bro. So I be learning stuff, fans, as I put this script together to give you guys the history during this week in history segment. But here I found this, Cleveland. I wasn't familiar with this. Maybe you were. I was not. And so let me show you guys this here. The Clippers didn't make the IST there, Chief. Thanks.
Oh no.
Thanks.
Oh really?
No, they didn't make it.
Shocked.
Smart ass. Cleveland, I was not familiar with this. Have you seen this image? Have you seen this image right here? During the I think this was in '63 civil rights. Right, you see the lady pushing the gun away with the staff on the end of it. No. Civil rights activist Gloria Richardson with his greatest boy boy by as she removes the rifle from the National Guardsman out of her way during the 63 civil rights protest. Like, I hadn't seen the image. That's crazy. Gloria, she ended up going to Hampton or Howard University, excuse me. People from DC ain't gonna like that. She used to go end up graduating from Howard University, became a civil rights activist, and died when she was 99. But I didn't see that image. That image was pretty kind of caught my attention there. So every week fans would like to do This Week in History segment, and this is the part of history I want to give you guys, some history that maybe you wasn't familiar with. And so that was Gloria Richardson with the greatest boy by as she removes the rifle from National Guardsmen from her way during the 1963 civil rights protests. Interesting. Cleveland, November 26, 1907, Wanzimus introduced the idea of vaccination based upon African practice of inoculation in Liberia to help mitigate the spread of smallpox. His history has all been erased from the story of his medical triumph, though. When he decided that, or he found a inoculation, which is another word for the from the vaccination of smallpox. So kudos to him. 12/1/1829, Mexico abolished slavery. In 1829, enslaved people were escaping to Mexico. The U.S. tried to get Mexico to sign a fugitive slave treaty to return escaped slaves, but Mexico refused to sign such a treaty, insisting that enslaved people were free once they set foot on Mexican soil.
And what else is so significant about that, Cameron?
What else? Help me out.
Mexico was 40% larger at that time.
Yeah, right. There you go. Good point. In 1829, right. And then they sold Mexico.
All in New Mexico.
So they got their land stolen, essentially, is what you said.
Yeah.
12/3/1956, a kid named Will Chamberlain makes his much anticipated Jayhawks varsity debut. Cleveland scores 52 points, grabbed 31 rebounds in a win over Northwestern in his debut. Killing, right? 12/2/1927. After being convicted of mail fraud for selling company stock, U.S. government's release Marcus Garvey from federal prison, then illegally deported him to Jamaica right away. So that was a trumped up mail charge, I'm sure. 12/4/1969, Moneta Sleet Jr. of Ebony Magazine awarded a Pulitzer Prize for photography and becomes the first African American male to be cited by the Pulitzer Committee. 12/4/1969, Black Panther Party members Fred Hampton and Mark Clark are shot and killed in their sleep during a raid by 14 Chicago police officers. 11/25/1955. That was last week. 12/3/1970. Jennifer Josephine Hostin of Grenada becomes first Black Miss World. 12/2/1994. Rapper Tupac Shakur found guilty of sexually abusing women, but was cleared of more serious sex offenses and weapons charges. 12, Cleveland. This is I know you. Do you remember where you were? Moment. 12/2/1983. MTV aired Michael Jackson's Thriller video for the first time. Where were you when you saw the video?
Oh man, on the couch at the house. Yeah. 4:30 thing.
Did a video 17 minutes long? Like, what's he doing? And everybody hooked.
Yeah.
12/2/1985, a couple years later, Dolphins beat Chicago Bears to prevent them from going undefeated. just blitzed them. It wasn't even. It was a beatdown. Chicago Bears. It should have said. The Bears obviously went on to win the Super Bowl. What's your thoughts on the bracket? Do you want to talk about the brackets, or there's still another week before the brackets are actually solidified? But what's your thoughts on the bracket? On the brackets thus far, Miami loses to Syracuse, so they end up in turn for that loss. Not only did they lose to Syracuse, but they get hosed by the committee and knocked out of the top 12 teams as they vote Alabama in. Ohio State, as you know, loses to Michigan. Does Day survive this loss? Ryan Day, does he survive the loss to Michigan without Harbaugh?
If they win a national championship, yeah.
But they just lost to an unranked team. You think they can still go on to win a national championship?
For sure.
Are you okay with Bama now 11 beating out Miami, number 12 for the rankings with 3 losses?
The way that Miami lost to Syracuse was somewhat inexcusable. So, especially that late in the season to, again, a team that wasn't ranked. So,
Colorado beat up on Oklahoma State. Does Dylan Gabriel have any chance of edging out Travis Hunter for the Heisman Trophy?
0 chance.
Should planting the flag on the logo be banned? As you know, there was a fight broke out.
I mean, maybe in this really soft social media environment, maybe it should. I recall Baker Mayfield doing it. I don't recall a riot breaking out where the police had to come out and pepper spray people. I mean, sometimes you lose your rivalry game, man, and it hurts. It's painful, but I mean, you just got to take it like a man. If you didn't want it to happen, you should have won the rivalry game. That's right. Why it's a rivalry game.
Listen to Cleveland with some sanity going on here. This is not the sanity we come to know from Cleveland. Baker said they asked Baker about it. Baker said let the boys play. Because Baker's been credited with I'll tell you how young this not even young the tradition is, but Baker, how long Baker been in the league? 5 years, 6 years? Has he been in the league longer than 6 years?
Like 8 years, bro.
They call him the godfather of the planting the flag. Was that long ago? Let me see how long Baker been in the league. But I mean, are the players being? You say the players are being sensitive, huh?
Yeah.
So 2018, he came in the league. Baker did. So he's been playing.
Is that 7 years?
8 years. He's in his 9th year now. Yeah.
Time flies, bro.
It's flying, bro. It's flying too. UConn.
That's part of a rivalry game, man.
I agree with you.
You don't want to be part of that, and then, you gotta take every loss just that personal. Like, oh man, you can't plant your flag after beating us. Yeah, you can do that. That's part of what comes with the loss.
That comes with the loss. Like
that's what makes the loss so painful, and that was what makes the rivalry so passionate, right?
What is the Apple Cup? What do they play for in the Apple Cup? Do they have a big Apple Cup? What are the trophy that they're playing for?
They have a big Apple Cup.
And they have to pass it. Yeah, you have to watch the other team parade around your stadium with the Apple Cup and take it on a bus, take it out the stadium on a bus.
And it's painful. Yeah.
Like you gotta endure that. Like,
that's why Ryan Day. I mean, we're joking around, man, but 4 straight. I don't think there will be a 5th.
Like without Harbaugh, okay, they lose their head coach. Wait. Who was coaching last year? Because Harbaugh got suspended towards the end of the season.
Same dude that's coaching now.
Huh?
Same dude that's coaching now.
So he has 2 wins over Ohio State.
Yeah. They've lost 4 straight.
Yeah, but I'm saying last year, Harbaugh was suspended late in the season. I'm not sure what games he was suspended, but he was suspended late in the season.
I think he was back for that one though.
Huh?
I think he was back for that one though.
Was he? I'm not sure. I think he came back for like the playoff games. It was like, okay, dude, how you come back just for the playoff game?
Maybe so. I don't really remember that.
I remember him being suspended like late in the season.
The Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, other than the fact that it's lopsided either one way or the other. Like, I don't think Tressel ever lost to those guys. I think Urban Meyer lost maybe once.
Yeah, but Florida State.
John Cooper lost like 6 times. They were like, okay, that's enough of that. You're out of here.
Well, UConn went from number 1 to 23 in the hoop rankings. Is that okay, or is basketball? It's too early.
Probably should have kicked him even further than that, but it's just you can't really. The national champion, they were defending national champion, but they did lose 3 straight games at the Maui Classic. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And the competition got progressively like worse. Yeah. So it's not like 3 really tough teams. I think the last one was like Dayton. They got just blown out.
And now the coach is like, yeah, we're not playing any more of these tournament games. We're only playing games that are on our schedule. We're not doing any of this extra stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on, that's poor sportsmanship, ain't it?
It is. You don't want to take your kids to Maui coming off a national championship. You didn't think it was going to go this way, and then when it did, you don't want the pressure or the level of expectation. Like, that's weak.
This weekend we got Oscar Valdez, 38-2. 24 knockouts.
Okay.
Taking on Emmanuel Navarrete, 38 wins, 2 knockouts, 1 tie.
38-2
and 1. 31 knockouts.
31 knockouts. Okay.
This weekend, top ranked boxing in Arizona. Interested in watching that one?
No, not really.
You gotta be ashamed of yourself.
No, not really, because I watched Bivol Bitter BF. So you ought to be ashamed of yourself for trying to endorse some fight against some people I'd never heard of and you never heard of till you looked them up. Trying to make that a friendly fight.
No, I heard of both these guys. It's gonna be a Mexican war. That's what it's gonna be.
Okay, yeah, no, not watching. But let me know how
it's gonna be a Mexican war. That's what it's gonna be in Arizona.
Let me know how it went.
Look at this guy. Tank versus Lamont Roach. You interested in that? March 1 in Brooklyn, New York?
Oh boy, I think Tank gonna win.
You think Tank gonna win?
Mm-hmm.
Just on name recognition alone.
Well, I mean, just because there's just so much on the line. Because even if the fight goes a certain way, I mean, yeah, the name recognition just have to be protected. We've seen that.
So you're just saying boxing is corrupt and they're just protecting their fighters.
I am saying that if things go horribly wrong, we still have to think about the future. I believe that's boxing's perspective on things.
We got to think about the future. So unless Tank is on his back and they count to 10, Tank is gonna win the fight. Basically, is that what you said?
I didn't say that in so many words.
But that's what you meant to say.
But I mean, unless it's just an obliteration or a knockout, yeah, Tank's not going to lose that fight.
Okay, Cleveland, should MLB have a free agent signing period to where, a month after the season, they have 60 days after the final game of the season to sign any free agents? Should they have a signing period, or should they be allowed to sign players all the way through spring training?
They should be allowed to sign players all the way through spring training.
If they had a designated free agent period, I mean, whether it became 30 days before spring training start, 90 days before the beginning of spring training, 90 days after the regular season, whatever they determine to be, wouldn't that add a little bit more excitement and a little bit more, I wouldn't say notoriety isn't the word I'm looking for. It would bring more eyeballs. So now it's the free agent signing deadline, and they have to get this done. If they're going to bring any more free agents on the team for next season, they have to get it done by this deadline, whether that's January 1, March, February 1, or March 1. Wouldn't that bring a little bit more excitement? You don't think so? So what do you think about the Major League Baseball bouncing on the idea of the golden bat rule, where they can bring up a team gets one at bat where they can send any player to the plate?
Thank you so much for explaining. I've been hearing this golden bat thing bantered around, but I never took the time to look into it. No, that's ridiculous, man. No.
I mean, if we're down, if a team is down 3-1 going into the ninth inning, instead of facing their seventh, eighth, and ninth
that's
batter,
the whole point of the setup of the whole game. All of a sudden, you've gotten to the ninth hitter and like, no,
we're gonna put Ohtani in here. We want Ohtani.
No, come on,
man. What do you mean?
No.
Tony, I have to give credit to Tony Kornheiser. He's like, yeah, they have that already. It's called the DH.
Yeah, man, come on, man.
I mean, come on. If you're down by 2 runs,
no, man,
and now you got 7, 8, and 9 coming up, you can let Julio, not Francisco Rodriguez, go up to, be the opening batter. You don't like that?
It changes everything. It changes the entire strategy of the game. So what is the point of, lefty on lefty, righty on righty? What's the point of making, defensive changes if you can just bring up whoever you want? This golden ticket this one time. No.
The golden bat. So do you think it's gonna pass? Do you think it's gonna happen?
No.
I mean, they've already changed the rules of it. They did the whole what is it, in overtime or extra innings? Now you got a player starting on second base, right? Yeah. They already did that. They already made that change. That was crazy to begin with, right?
That was to speed up the game. That wasn't because
they already added the pitch clock to speed up the game. Yeah, there was never no pitch clock.
That's to make the game faster and more fan friendly.
This is make the game more fan friendly. You want to see Julio, not Francisco Rodriguez get up more times than not, don't you?
So Cameron, would you like it in the NBA if you're down by 3, you can just send Steph Curry to the free throw line for 3 free throws?
Well, somebody has to get fouled. It's
like,
if
you're down by 2, you can just send your place kicker out there to kick from like a 50-yard field goal. I mean, it's like, why are you changing the rules of the game? For what reason?
Because the fan experience, fan interaction. You want to see stars in there. You don't want to see the shortstop. The shortstop who's batting 178. You don't want to see him hit.
But it's 1 through 9. It's a team game. You can't change the lineup. You can't change the order of how people bat. I mean, that's crazy. So what happens when it's that player's time to bat? They just get to bat twice, or I mean, can you bat back to back? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're like if you no for real, I'm just saying like if you're like the number 6 hitter, right? Strike out, but and they put you in the 5th spot. Can you just bat again?
That'd be crazy, right? He strikes out and go in there and try it again.
Yeah, go ahead and shoot again.
That'd be crazy. I don't know. It sounds kind of hokey, but yeah, Tony Kornheiser had the best saying. He's like, yeah, they have that already. It's called the DH. All right, you don't like that. I mean, the Mariners need to come find another batter. They need to be pressing for that move. Fans, give yourself a round of applause for sticking with us this long. This is the Voice of the Fans podcast, week 319 of the show. If you've been with us all show, you heard the numbers game at the beginning of the show. You saw this week in history. Fans, was there a better play? What was the better play, fans? Was it the Eagles cornerback, the rookie, hitting
Derrick Henry, yeah.
Derrick Henry wrapping up, hitting and driving Derrick Henry to the ground,
or the 300-pound
Leonard Williams running for
92 yards.
When after Aaron Rodgers threw the ball right to him and hit him in between the numbers.
The entire offense.
What was a bigger play, fans? Let us know in the chat. If
typically 300-pound men don't get up to 19 miles an hour.
Yeah, but if there's nobody in front of him, Cleveland, come on. There was nobody in front of him.
All right then, man.
I mean, there was nobody in front. Come on now.
Okay.
But if you I guess that's a poll question for tonight. What was the bigger play? Derrick Henry getting wrapped up by Cooper DeJean or Leonard Williams going 92 yards with the interception return after the ball was thrown right in the stomach. And then we had our This Week in History segment. A probably interesting segment if you guys haven't heard that one. And then we end the show with a quote, fans. The quote I want to end the show with tonight comes from an NBA champion. And the quote goes like this. The moment you give up is the moment you let someone else win. The moment you give up is the moment you let someone else win. Cleveland, who said that?
That sounds like Jerry West.
He was a Laker. Kobe Bryant. One more time for the people in the back. The moment you give up is the moment you let someone else win. Fans, that's how we end the show. We end the show with a motivational quote. So don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals because you're letting someone else achieve your goals. Keep the pedal to the metal. Keep going after it. And I wish you guys a happy holiday season. We'll be here. We're going to have to get our holiday schedule together, Cleveland, because I think New Year's is on a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you're going to be sober enough to do the show, man.
Christmas and New Year's, actually.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're going to be sober enough to do the show. I might have to bow out, just save some face on those weekends, Cleveland. So we'll let you guys know over the next couple of weeks when our last show would be. That would mean our last show is going to be in 2 weeks, not the last show of the week is going to be in 2 weeks, not 3 weeks. So we have to figure that out. But Cleveland, thank you. Let's give Cleveland a round of applause. Thank you for being a part of the show. Let the people know where they can find you, Cleveland.
At Clevie Wonder on Twitter and TikTok, and Cleveland still on Instagram.
And you can hit us up at I'm Cam Buford at Blue Sky. If you want to check out Blue Sky, anybody who's made that migration, Cam Buford at Blue Sky. Also, you can catch the show, comment on the show, give some feedback, comments, complaints, concerns of the show at _Twitter, _Voice of the Fans on Twitter, _Voice of the Fans on Twitter. And thank you for your feedback. As always, fans, I want to thank you for making our voice your choice.